If you like dogs, like hiking, and happen to be traveling to Cabo, then there is a unique experience made just for you. The hike to Mount Solmar is rated as the #2 best thing to do in Cabo according to TripAdvisor, and after completing the hike myself, I actually think it should be #1. Located near the tip of the Baja Peninsula, you will enjoy the best panoramic views the city has to offer, and what's better is that you get to do it with some furry companions. In this video, I'm going to share everything you need to know to plan the hike, my top tips, and advice I wish someone would have given me beforehand. So sit back, relax, and grab a pen and paper. This is your ultimate hiking guide to Mount Solmar. Mount Solmar is actually located on private property with no public access to the trailhead. So to do the hike, you must go with a local guide named Enrique. Enrique runs a dog training and daycare center, and some of these dogs get to go with you on the hike. On Google Maps, simply route to the dog training camp. This is the meetup point, which is just a short walk from the Marina. What's important to know is the hike is only completed once a day. The hike starts at 8 a.m. every day of the week except on Saturdays. The schedule is of course subject to change, so make sure to check out the hike's Facebook page that I've linked in the description below for any updates. The trail itself is only 1 mile round trip. However, don't let its short length fool you. The trail gets pretty steep, steeper than I anticipated at least. It has an elevation gain of 400 feet, along with some rock scrambling, but more on that later. Now that you know all the essential information, let's get into the hike with the doggos. Like I said, the meetup spot is at the dog training camp. For us, it was just an 8-minute walk from our stay at the Solmar Resort. If you happen to stay at any of these hotels on this side of town, it's an easy walk. Otherwise, you may want to Uber there. The gates promptly open at 8 in the morning, and you'll be greeted by the hike leader, Enrique, who exudes great energy and is very friendly. Before you begin the hike, Enrique shares a brief overview of the area and some safety precautions, kindly switching between English and Spanish. Because the dogs were barking, it was honestly a bit hard to hear him speak, so make sure to stand close to him if you want to hear him clearly. We began the actual hike at around 8:15. About 10 dogs accompanied us and led us to the top. The hike seemed to have 2 parts. The first part was an easy gradual incline. The second part was moderately steep with sections of rock scrambling. Right before the steep section, the group took a 10-minute break while Enrique provided more commentary about the area in a very spiritual manner. By the way, there are a lot of cacti along the hike. I saw some guy's ankle bleeding at one point, and I'm assuming he got pricked by a cactus, so just be mindful of your surroundings. The second part of the hike is much more difficult. There are times where you may need all 4 limbs to help you get up. I thought it was fun, but I could tell a lot of others were not prepared for this type of strenuous activity. It was stop and go traffic in a single file line all the way up the hill, since some people were a bit slower, but I didn't mind too much because it gave more time to admire the views. And just to be clear, it's not like you need technical rock climbing skills to complete this. I think the average person will do just fine, but it's definitely not for the faint of heart. For footwear, good tennis shoes should get the job done, but please don't wear flip-flops. Soon enough, you'll reach the top and enjoy unobstructed 360-degree views of Cabo San Lucas. Mount Solmar is a great place to orient yourself to where everything is located. You can see boats heading over to the infamous Cabo Arch. Please be careful when walking around this area because some areas are rocky and it's a steep drop from the top. Some people were doing some sketchy things like balancing on rocks, and it was pretty nerve-wracking to watch. Just be careful. This is the best time to play with the dogs since you probably didn't spend too much time with them on the trail. Also, if you come during the winter months like we did, you can spot some whales on the Pacific side. And don't underestimate the humidity. It was humid even winter, so make sure to bring water. I recommend being in the front of the pack so you can get down the hill faster. We were in the back of the pack, and once again, it was pretty slow going since there were some people in front of us who were having a tough time. At one point, we were only a quarter of the way down, while some people had already reached the bottom. Back at the dog center, there is a tip box, so make sure to leave a tip to support those who make the hike possible. We got back to our hotel at about 10:30 and we asked for a late checkout at 12 so we weren't rushed to freshen up, pack our luggage before continuing on our Cabo vacation at the next hotel. So that was my ultimate hiking guide to Mount Solmar, and I hope you found this video helpful. Overall, it was a definite highlight of our trip and undoubtedly had the best views in all of Cabo. While I prefer hiking in areas with less crowds, I didn't feel like the amount of people made the experience any less enjoyable. I was just happy I got to experience it at all. I do hope Enrique or whoever succeeds him continues to offer this hike so others can experience it as well. While the hike is the number 2 activity to do in Cabo, the number 1 activity to do in Cabo, according to TripAdvisor, and basically anyone who comes to Cabo, is to make a trip to the Cabo Arch, aka El Arco. Because did you really go to Cabo if you didn't see the arch? I made a complete guide on it where I share my top tips, as well as a review of nearby Divorce and Lovers Beach, so make sure to check out that video here. I'm almost done with my Cabo San Lucas travel series. I have a couple more to release, including my entire 6-day itinerary. I think you're going to find it very helpful. As always, happy travel planning and see you in the next adventure.